Hey, I'm Simon and I've thought a long time about how to start this video and this is the best I came up with. So in Germany we have a word called Schaffensdrang, which means something like urge to create something or urge of creativity, something like this, and it kind of perfectly describes how I feel. So throughout the past years I had a lot of hobby projects, like I developed a video game first on Windows and Mac and then also on the mobile platforms. I had an advertisement agency with some friends. Last year bought a holiday house with my brother, which we rent out as well. I have now an online store since about half a year with a good friend of mine who also was with me in the event advertisement agency. So we needed to get feedback for the events, for the video game of course, also for the online store, for the products and stuff like that. And you can imagine that it is kind of tedious to create all these channels for all of these projects and maintain them and work with the community and bind everything together. And throughout the last weeks I spoke a lot with Lucas, whom I have the online store with, about how to create the feedback loop for the product, because it's very important in that case. And then I came up with the idea that in all modesty, the common ground within all this project is me. So this does not mean that I'm some sort of solo worker or that I'm the most valuable person in all of the project, by far not. Especially not in the video game project, for example. There were a lot of important figures in the technological, in the design part and things like that. Yeah, and so I'm the only participant in all these projects who's recurring. And for example, in terms of the online store, also the only one who's willing to show his ugly face into the camera. So it became clear to me that I need some sort of incubator, but that sounded way too professional, so I decided to call it Playground, because that's basically what it is. For most of these projects, I just started. For this whole process of like finding new projects, discussing ideas, getting feedback, trying something out, having a prototype, it's very, very important and useful to have feedback for it, and that's what I want to achieve with this platform, with this channel, with these channels, maybe to just have a better opportunity and space to funnel this feedback down to where it really belongs. Let's get back to this Schaffensdrang, which I mentioned in the beginning. I would say I'm very much suffering under this Schaffensdrang, under this urge to create something. So I try to combine now this urge to create something and overcome my fear of showing myself in order to build this place, Simon's Playground, where I can present you guys ideas, concepts, products, get your feedback, get your opinions, get your ideas, and in a perfect world, improve day by day. And I know that this sounds very selfish, and to be honest, I would say it is. So if you try to reflect my position, I think it becomes clear that right now it can just be selfish. So for whom else should I do this? We currently do not have any community, so I do not know any persons out there who may be interested in the way we produce the product in the online shop, or in the way the video game will develop in the future, or future video games, or who's interested in why we bought this house in this place and why the interior is like it is. So right now everything just comes from us. It's content, input, ideas, which we want to share with the outer world, or the outer world. And maybe in the future it will get less selfish and we will more focus on your ideas, opinions, things you want to talk about. And as I said, all these projects are just hobby projects. You know, I mentioned it before, if I like an idea, if I like a topic, I unintentionally think about it, what we could do with it, what maybe isn't there yet but would be cool if it is there, and what would make sense. That's my main motive, like creating something senseful. So, and I'm not really interested in wealth or in status, stuff like that. I think if you work on something where you have fun, success will come automatically. That's my philosophy, and I think that's also the reason why when we speak about future projects, if something is bad, if something is poorly designed, just tell us. You know, we are amateurs in most spaces. We try something out. Maybe we have new ideas which come from the outside and make things better than they currently are. There'll probably be cases where we just make mistakes. And I think it's not important to not make mistakes because it's impossible. It's more important to correct these mistakes as soon as possible. And with valuable feedback, you can correct mistakes way easier and way faster than if we just try to find them on our own. So, long story short, what can you expect in the future? I would like to present you first and foremost the current projects and current ideas. Maybe also speak a bit about the past if it's interesting for you, and get your feedback, get you involved into the processes. Or for example, within one of the next videos I want to talk with you about the online shop and one specific product. And for this one specific product called the refillable notepad, we are right now working on, let's call it version 2 or an add-on. And their feedback would be highly expected and useful. So I think that's it for the beginning. Thank you so much for listening. I try to link everything which is important in the description and on the channel and stuff like that. And I think that's it for now. Thank you. That was surprisingly exhausting, but I think this is a good decision, and that we can have a lot of fun and experiment together in the future. So have a good day. See you on the next video.